Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Rajiv Lachanman, and today I am going to present tools for the summative assessment online. This is basically the ICT tools you use for summative assessment. My contents are introduction and tools for summative assessment के अंदर आएंगे टीचमेंट, गूगल मीट, गूगल क्लासरूम, गूगल फॉर्म एंड कंक्लूजन. Introduction. Assessment refers to evaluate, measure, and document the academic readiness, learning progress, skill acquisition, or acquisitional needs of students. Mainly, there are two types of assessment: formative assessment and summative assessment. There are following online tools for the summative assessment, that includes TeachMeet, Google Meet, Google Classroom, and Google Form. Let's discuss one by one. TeachMeet. TeachMeet is an online teaching platform that allows teachers to conduct the online classes and assessment. Here are the steps one can follow to use the TeachMeet for summative assessment. Create an account on TeachMeet and create a class for students. Decide on the type of assessment you want to conduct, whether it will be a written test, quiz, or an oral exam. Create the assessment using TeachMeet's built-in assessment tools. You can create multiple choice questions, short answer questions, or essay questions. Set the date and time for the assessment and share the link with your friends. With students. You can also schedule the assessment to be taken at a specific time. Once the date of the assessment, make sure students have access to stable internet connection and a device that can roll teachment. Monitor your students during assessment to ensure that they are not cheating. Once the assessment is complete, you can grade the assessment using TeachMeet's grading tools. Finally, share the results with your students and discuss any areas where they need improvement. The second one is Google Meet. Google Meet is a useful tool for conducting summative assessment, especially in a remote or hybrid learning environment. Here are some steps you can follow to use the Google Meet for summative assessment. Schedule the meeting. As the teacher, you can schedule a Google Meet session through a Google Calendar. You can set a date, time, and duration for the meeting and invite your students to join. Share your screen. During the assessment, you can share the screen with your students to display any materials or instructions that may need for assessment. Use the chat feature. The chat feature can be useful for communicating with your students during assessment. Use breakout rooms. Breakout rooms can be used to divide students into smaller groups for individual assessment or group work. Record the session. You can record the session for future reference or to view the student's performance. Use Google Forms can be used to create quiz or assessment that can be shared with your students by Google Meet. Third one is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a powerful tool that can be used to facilitate summative assessment in a variety of ways. Here are some steps to help you to use Google Classroom for summative assessment. Create a class and invite students. इसके अंदर हम देखेंगे the first step is to create a class in Google Classroom and invite your students to join. Google Classroom join क्लास खोलने के लिए उस हमें email ID की ज़रूरत होती है. Once students have joined, you can organize them into different groups based on their abilities, interest, or other factors. Create and share assessment tasks. इसमें हम जो भी असेसमेंट करनी है इसके लिए जो भी प्रोजेक्ट बनाए होंगे उनको शेयर करेंगे. Google Classroom allows you to create and share various type of assessment tasks such as quiz, essays, project, and presentation. You can use Google Forms, Google Docs, Google Slides, etc. to create tasks and share them with students. You can also set deadline for the assessment. Monitor students' progress. This is very important process. Google Classroom allows you to monitor students' progress and engagement with the assessment. Grade and provide feedback. इसके अंदर हम उनकी लेवल कितनी है स्टूडेंट को देते हैं. Once students have completed the assessment task, you can grade using classroom's built-in grading tools. You can provide feedback on their performance, highlight the area for improvement. Google Form. A Google Form can be used for summative assessment by creating a quiz or a survey to evaluate the learning outcomes of a particular module. Here are the steps you can follow to create a Google Form for summative assessment. The one, open a Google Form. Go to Google Forms homepage and click on blank option to create a Google Form. Create assessment questions. Various types of assessment questions can be created like MCQs, multiple choice questions, short answers, and answer type questions. Set up quiz settings. If your description creating quiz, set up the quiz settings by selecting the options to make this quiz and choosing the correct answers for each question. Customize the form. Customize the form by adding a title, description, and any other relevant information about the assessment. The fifth one, share the form. Share the form with your students by sending them link on the learning system या व्हाट्सअप मैसेज या किसी भी क्लास गूगल क्लासरूम में भी शेयर कर सकते हैं. Analyze the results. Once students have completed the assessment, you can analyze the results by exporting the data to a spreadsheet and then suggest their area of improvement. These are my references. Thank you. Thank you so much.